Today we're diving into a cornerstone of any healthy relationship, setting boundaries. Whether you're in a romantic relationship, a friendship, or navigating family dynamics, boundaries are crucial for any healthy connection. Since this channel is specifically Aspec content, there will be some tips directly towards asexual and aromantic folks, though these can also apply to just about anyone, whether you're Aspec or not. First off, what do I mean by boundaries? Boundaries are the limits that we set for ourselves and others to protect our well-being and maintain healthy relationships. They can be physical, emotional, mental, or even digital. Setting boundaries is about communicating your needs and respecting the needs of others. One of the best ways to set boundaries is by understanding and communicating your love languages. Love languages are the ways that we express and receive love. 5 of the main love languages are affirmation, acts of service, giving and receiving gifts, quality time, and physical touch. Discussing love languages with your partner or your loved ones can help you both understand how to meet each other's needs. For instance, if your love language is quality time, you might set a boundary around having uninterrupted time together, however that looks for you. Whether that's watching a movie together or taking a walk or anything else that helps you connect. Now let's talk about boundaries in relationships specifically for asexual folks. Asexuality is a sexual orientation where a person experiences little to no sexual attraction. Asexual folks might identify as sex repulsed, sex averse, sex indifferent, or sex favorable. Each of these experiences will impact the type of boundary that one might set in a relationship. Sex-repulsed asexuals typically are uncomfortable or put off by sex, including the idea of it. Sex-averse folks might not feel as strongly about the idea until that idea of sex involves them personally. Sex-indifferent folks are just as it sounds, indifferent. They don't necessarily want it or feel a desire for it, but they may be willing to do it for a partner. And sex-favorable folks might enjoy occasional experiences with their partner and maybe even outside of a relationship, but they're still asexual. Remember, asexuality is about attraction, even though it's important to consider your relationship with the action too. So someone might still enjoy the action while not experiencing the attraction to a particular person. That doesn't make their asexuality any less valid. Now that we know the ways that asexual folks might relate to the action, how do we handle that in a relationship? Well, first and foremost, it's important to communicate your asexual identity with your partner. This can be a sensitive conversation, but it's crucial for ensuring both you and your partner are on the same page. You might say something like this: I want to share something important about my identity. I identify as asexual, which means I don't experience sexual attraction. This impacts how I feel about physical intimacy and sex. Setting boundaries around physical intimacy is essential to any relationship, whether you're asexual or allosexual, which means somebody that does experience sexual attraction and doesn't notice any sort of difference in how they experience it. So, for everybody involved, here are some tips. 1. Be clear and direct. Let your partner know what you are comfortable with and what you are not. For example, I'm okay with cuddling and holding hands, but I'm not comfortable with anything sexual. 2. Use safe words or signals. If physical contact is something you're navigating, having a safe word or signal can help you communicate when you need to stop or take a break. 3. Revisit conversations regularly. Boundaries can change over time. Regularly checking in with others ensure that both you and your partner feel comfortable and respected. For aromantic folks, it's equally important to communicate your romantic attraction. Aromantic individuals may not experience romantic attraction or may experience it in a different way. So if you are aromantic, you might say, I want to share something important about my identity. I identify as aromantic, which means I don't experience romantic attraction the way that most people do. This influences how I feel about romantic gestures and expectations. Setting boundaries as an aromantic person might include 1. defining relationship expectations. Clearly discuss what kinds of relationships you're comfortable with. For example, you might prefer a platonic relationship with a deep emotional connection, but without romantic gestures. 2. Explore different types of love with your partner. Emphasize other forms of love that you do experience, such as platonic, queer platonic, familial, and self-love. Make sure your partner understands that these forms of love are equally valuable to you. And 3. Reaffirm your boundaries. Like with any other boundary, it's important to regularly check in with your partner and reaffirm what feels comfortable and what doesn't for both yourself and for them. Beyond physical boundaries, emotional and mental boundaries are just as important. These might include setting limits on how much personal information you want to share, protecting your mental health by taking time for yourself and for self-care, and making sure that your partner respects your needs for space and that you respect theirs. Here are some practical tips for setting and maintaining boundaries in any relationship. 1. Be honest and open. Communication is key. Be honest about your needs and listen to your partner's needs as well. 2. Use I statements. Frame your boundaries in a way that focuses on your feelings and needs. For example, I feel overwhelmed when we make plans every day. Can we schedule some quiet nights in? 3. Respect each other's boundaries. Boundaries are a two-way street. Just as you want your boundaries respected, it's important to respect your partner's boundaries too. And 4. Seek support if needed. If you're finding it difficult to set and maintain your boundaries, consider seeking support from a therapist or counselor. Setting boundaries might feel like a challenge at first, but it's an essential part of maintaining healthy, respectful relationships. Remember, boundaries are about taking care of yourself and ensuring that your relationships are built on mutual respect and understanding. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments how you set your boundaries in your relationships, and if you have any tips to share. And don't forget to subscribe for more Aro and Ace content. Remember, you and your boundaries deserve respect, and so do the boundaries of others. Thanks for being here.